So, as the name says, Game Developers Association of India, which is Gdai. You know what Gdais are, right? Who Gdais are? Who? Any idea? Amy, how about Didi? Who are Gdais? Yeah, so they are basically supposed to be warriors, right? Now, the best thing that has happened to the Indian gaming industry today is formation of this new association, which is Game Developers Association of India. And the reason that why it's important and is that so far there was no voice for the developers. And that is what is the gaming industry. A lot of times we see in the newspapers and media and everywhere, there's a lot of noise about gaming. And then that gaming doesn't necessarily refer to what we know as the mainstream gaming, which is the game development ecosystem. And there are a lot of associations and organizations who are representing, I would say, the ancillary parts of the gaming industry, which is platforms and companies which utilize gaming products or gaming IPs for their own business requirements and business plans. Now, having said all that, having all these different noises happening, all the different things happening, who is representing the game developers? Because when we talk about a game industry, who do we talk about? We don't talk about the real money games. We don't talk about all of different fantasy sports. We talk about people who are making games, people who are playing games. And when we say games, we normally say games which are used for entertainment. And that ecosystem where game developers, game publishers, they are the ones who so far were not represented either in the government or in the ecosystem itself. And that is where the Gdai, which is the Game Developers Association of India, that's where Gdai comes in. So this body is nothing new. It's not like it's something which has been formed right now or just a few months back. Informally, this team which came together to form this Gdai has been around for 16, 17 years. And we have a lot of people here, Shruti, Shidhar, and all of us have been around for so many years doing the same thing, but informally. IGDC, which is what everybody knows today, is the largest game conference in India and amongst the top 5 globally now. That also is basically driven by the same team, which is Gdai today. So now is the time where Gdai is officially a platform, a voice for the game developer ecosystem. And that is something which we all want to work towards promoting it, work towards making sure that this actually really becomes the voice of developers, voice of so many different teams which are coming up now. There are more than 800 game developers today. And that's not a small number. And that is going to grow exponentially. It is just a start with the amount of interest which is coming up from the government, amount of interest which we see now within the developer community. What we feel is that give it a few years, 1, 2, maybe 3 years, and what you see today is as a number is 800 plus, it'll be 3,000, 4,000 plus, because now everybody is waking up to the fact that game development is something which is the future. And so, and on behalf of GDI, I would like to welcome all of you to the Game Developers Association. And I would like all of you to support this, be part of this, because we are going to be looking at every developer, every development team, reaching out to them, because we want everybody to be part of this association, because this association is about you. The association is about a conversation with all of you so that we can do things better for this industry, for this ecosystem. And I would like all of you to give a big round of applause to the game developers of India.
Thank you, Manvendra, to New Beginnings. So today we also come to a point where at Gdai we always focus on 2 things, right? One is creating network and business opportunities for game developers in India. The other thing, which what we try to do with Developer Day or at IGDC when you come there, is to offer insights for developers to upskill themselves, right? And one of the things that we've all understood, and most of you try to recruit people and don't find enough, is that we have a talent crunch in the country. And we really want to address this at some level, which is why we're delighted to tell you that Gdai and MESC, which is the Media and Entertainment Skills Council, have come together and we're signing an MOU today. I'd like to invite Mr. Mohit Soni from Mesc and Manvendra back on stage once more. We have an exchange of MOU. And I'd like to first invite Mr. Mohit Soni to say a few words, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you everyone, and thanks a lot to IGDC for having me here and giving us this platform to talk about it. As a sector scale council in media and entertainment, I think it's one of the good initiatives which we are highlighting today about Gdai, because this is one big thing which I feel is the need of the hour today. And we have been working in this sector for many years now, and I think the last 3 years have been a hockey stick jump for the gaming sector. If you look into it, possibly the major source of excitement between the youth today is certainly gaming, if not reels. I think the second source is gaming, certainly. And I believe with the rise in the smartphones today, it has become very simpler for everybody to actually not just play game for the sake of interest, but also for the sake of building up a community or building up a line of money which they are looking forward from this venture. So it could be both ways, whether it is a real money game or a fantasy game or an adventure game, it depends on. But today what we felt as a big deficit is that the way this industry has grown, similar way we have seen the animation and the VFX industry grow in the last 20 years. And the big challenge we saw there was the talent mismatch. Everybody was talking about skill gap all the time whenever we went to any of the conferences. We tried to see whatever the best possible from the sector scale council could be done to fulfill that gap, whether it is in terms of bringing the right quality of resources or whether it is nurturing the new talent to fill up the bottom of the pyramid. But still the demand has grown so big in all of these sectors that whatever we do, even if we multiply it by 20 what we have right now, I feel it will not be very sufficient to fulfill that gap. But looking at the way now the gaming is picking up, I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to come together and build up a community which maybe Gdai could fulfill out in terms of bringing the right curriculum, the right content, and certainly a league of trainers. See, the network of institutions which we have in the country today can be upskilled, it can be multiplied, but if we don't have the right quality of content and the right quality of trainers, whatever the infrastructure we build in, it will just fall back. So my request to all of the members sitting here, and in particular Gdai, when we are signing up this MOU, is to see that we are able to nurture not just the fresh talent to take up the bottom of the pyramid or mid of the pyramid job roles, but build up a very strong pipeline of trainers. I think one big initiative which I really want to appreciate and applaud for Manvendra is building up the trainers at Lakshya through in-game academy. I think that is one wonderful initiative which is going to change up, because thousands of students we skill, but if we don't have the right quality of trainers, trust me, those thousands of students will not be able to be employable by the industry. So I think one big initiative which everybody of us should aim at is developing these trainers. And if you can support us in that initiative, I think we will be able to build up a strong pipeline and fill up the volume of numbers which you need today or maybe for the future. So that's one big thing which we really want to look at. And second is also doing a lot of awareness drives in the schooling and the higher education system. I think that's another big initiative which all of us should look at. Mesc does around 300 plus events across the year. We do a lot of things in the higher education and the school education system, and I think with the CBSE or with the other school state boards, what we can look at is doing an awareness drive for the teachers who are there in the schooling system. Last year we did a teacher awareness program for around 43,000 teachers for animation and VFX. The same thing we could look at doing for gaming, maybe with a lakh of a teacher or maybe 1.5 lakh of the teachers. And trust me, the seeds we will sow today will actually give us a big benefit. And the same thing could be done with academic bodies like AICTE and UGC. With AICTE we are coming up with 8 diploma programs, out of which 3 are in the gaming sector. So I think these are the initiatives which will certainly build up the pipeline, but the more demand which is coming in will certainly need a more support from the industry to come in. And as a sector scale council, our humble request is to all of you to become a member, a participant for Gdai. Support us in that initiative, because Mesc once enters into this MOU will request Gdai for its lot of exercises, not just in terms of the support which comes in from the academic front, but also from the awareness front. So I think with this, I would like to end up my words and enter into that formal exchange of the MOU with Manvendra sir. May I request him to come up on the stage and give us this honor. Thank you.